Good morning to all. I welcome you, dear students, to our science class. Today we'll study about aquatic plants. Now, aqua means water. So, aquatic plants are the plants that are present in water. Plants that are present in water can either float on water or are fixed on the surface of the water or they are underwater plants. So today we'll study all the three types of plants of water, and we'll see what are the adaptations that these plants make to survive in such aquatic environment. Now first of all, we'll study about floating plants. Now children, if you go to village side, you will see that there is a common scene that the ponds are filled up with green algae-like structure. If you just go it and see from near, you will see that they are not exactly algae, but they have small leaves also, and these plants are called duckweed, or you can also see water hyacinth on the ponds. So are these plants fixed to the surface of water where there is soil? No, they are not fixed. They are floating plants. They float on the surface of water. Now what are the characteristics of these plants that make them easily survive on the surface of the plants? We'll study this. Okay, this is called adaptation. Adaptation of floating plants that make it easy to survive in such a watery environment. The first adaptation they make is that these plants have soft, spongy stem so that they become light and can float on water. Now you know that anything that is heavier can sink in water, yes? So since these plants have to float, so they make their stem and leaves very soft and spongy so that they can easily float on water. Now the second point is the root of these plants float in water. Means the roots of the plants of duckweed and water hyacinth are not fixed. They float on water easily, so that it becomes for the plants very easy to move on the surface of water, and it mainly depends on the minerals dissolved in water for its growth and development. Okay, now come to the second category, the fixed plants. Now I hope most of you must have seen the lotus flower, beautiful lotus flower floating on the surface of water. Have you observed its leaves, its beautiful leaves? How water dances on the surface of the leaves of lotus flower? Yes. So this lotus flower, though the leaves easily float on the surface, but the whole plant is not freely floating. Its roots are fixed in the soil present underneath the water. So where are these plants formed then? Plants that have fixed root to the bottom of the water body such as pond are called fixed plant, and the best example is lotus. Now they are found in places where water is not very deep. So if the water will be very deep, the soil also will be very deep. So it will be difficult for the plant to survive such a long stem. Okay. And the best examples of lotus are lotus and water lily. Okay. So fixed plants. So they have, what are the characteristics? They have the roots fixed inside the soil underneath water. So now we'll study what are the adaptation that these plants make to survive under such surface. Okay, so they have flat and broad leaves. So just the best example I have told you as lotus flower, it has such big and flat leaves. This helps them to float easily on the surface of the water. The broad leaves also help them to absorb more sunlight. So you know that each plant requires sunlight for the purpose of photosynthesis. Now, most of the part except leaf and flowers of this plant is submerged inside the water. So leaves have to be very broad so that they can carry on the photosynthesis very easily. Okay. Now, next characteristics is the leaves of these plants have a waxy coating. Now, what is the need of this waxy coating? The waxy coating on the surface of the leaves, they avoid the water to just stand on the leaf. So if so much water will always be there on the surface of the leaf, then what will happen? The leaves will get rotten and then it will destroy the plant. So God the nature has gifted it with waxy coated leaves so that they can easily survive. The stem of these plants are long, thin and hollow. This makes them light and help them to hold the plant to the surface of the water. So what are the characteristics of the stems? So they are long, thin and hollow. Hollow means from inside nothing is there. Okay, very little surface area is there. They are thin and inside part also it's not filled completely. And what is the reason for that? So that they can easily just remain inside the water easily and they can just support the leaves and flowers above the water. Now the next category comes the underwater plants. So now previously we saw that the plants that were easily free flowing from the surface of the water. The next category we saw that the plants that were not able to freely flow, their leaves and flowers were outside but their root and stem was submerged in the water and they were fixed at one place. Now another category of plants is underwater plants. So that plants that grow underwater is called underwater plants. So completely they will be inside the water. Such plants are found in ponds where the water is not very deep. So they are found where the water is not very deep. Okay. They also are found in moving water like streams. Okay. And now these plants are found where the water is not deep and in moving water. So moving water is also called stream. Underwater plants supports animal life to a great extent because they give out oxygen during photosynthesis, which keeps the plants alive. Now you know that these plants are very much supportive for the animals that live inside the water, because during photosynthesis each plant will release oxygen and this oxygen is dissolved in water and the animals that live inside the water take the oxygen for their own survival. Okay, so now pondweed, duckweed and tape grass are examples of underwater plants. So here you see pondweed, tape grass are examples of underwater plants. Now what are the adaptation? What special adaptation do these plants make to remain inside the water? So the leaves of these plants are long and thin so that the water can flow through them without tearing the leaves. See, this is a very important adaptation. Once again, I'll make you understand that the plants have leaves that are long and very thin, so that the water can flow easily and the leaves are not torn away by the current of water. And the next one is the leaves of these plants do not have stomata. The plants breathe through the entire body. So in your earlier class, it is taught that stomata are the small opening in the leaf that is used for exchange of gases. Plants also need carbon dioxide, and it gives out oxygen. So here stomata is absent in these leaves, and the entire body is helpful in breathing, taking in carbon dioxide and giving out oxygen. Okay, children, so here I end my class. Please see the dashboard for your homework and rest of the assignments. Thank you.